So I actually came out here today to film a white balance video that is probably already up by now. And I come to the woods a lot, but usually not to photograph. And I felt like I wanted to try something because I see a couple cool compositions out here for woodland photography type stuff that I don't normally do. And I figured I would take you guys along with me so that you could see my struggles, basically. So let's go see if my compositions that I have in mind, and I'll walk you through the process of what I'm doing and what I'm thinking and how I'm gonna get this shot, and hopefully it'll work. The other thing I wanted to challenge myself for today was the light. So the light right now, it's like 3 in the afternoon, the sun is still really high. The light is really just dappled and harsh, and I just want to see if I can make an image in it. All right, so we made it to the first composition. So what I'm thinking is that tree back there that's all lit up, there's like a single oak tree amidst all these pine trees, and not only that, but it's lit up by this really nice side and backlight from the sun up there. So I've got a couple of different things in mind. The first thing that I want to try probably is going to be on the wide lens, which I'm shooting with right now, which I'll probably switch out in a second, and do like a close-up on some of these flowers with this tree in the background. But I got to find the right flower and the right background so that the light is where I need it, and I'm not sure if that's going to work out. The second idea that I have is the long lens, so I've got a 70-200 and go back a little bit and shoot it at a little longer of a focal length from a farther distance and get some more compression. For the long lens shot though, that's not going to have a specific foreground interest, and that's something that you definitely want to think about in landscape photography, and particularly woodland photography. I really want to try to emphasize some sort of foreground thing if I can. However, if I isolate that tree enough with the long lens, then it shouldn't really need a foreground subject because of the compression. So as long as we get the good light for that shot, that's what we're going to be after with the longer lens. Okay, so I think, don't jinx me on this, but I think this composition might work. So I've got this flower right here, nice purple vertical flower, and the sun is hitting it, and it's in the perfect line of sight of my tree, and the tree is lit up, but there's this nice big shady bit in between the flower and the tree, which is going to give me a little room to break up the midground so that we can see the foreground and highlight that tree back there that's lit up. So the hard part about this thing though is going to be I have to focus stack, because being this close, there's no way I can get all of that in focus, even at f16 or f22 or whatever. So I am going to put it at f16 to get the most depth of field that I can, and I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to take a shot, and then I'm going to focus on the tree and make sure that tree is lit up, and then I'm going to blend them together in post. And hopefully this thing doesn't move around too much, or the wind and everything, and it should be good to go. Well, on the back of the screen it looks pretty decent, but that's the back of the screen out here in bright sunlight, and I can't really see too well. So I'm going to reserve my judgment for when I get it back in a Photoshop. So now I think let's switch to let's switch to this guy, my 70-200, and whoa, hey, no hitchhikers. I said beat it. All right, so let's switch to this guy and back it up a little bit and see if we can get some isolation going and some cool light on that tree at 200. Okay, so I've got the composition right here. I've got the main tree and the light, and then I've got, try to do a frame within the frame of these trees on the side. I don't know how I like it though, because I'm only at 70 mils and I'd like to be farther back. The problem is when I go farther back, it's downhill. So I ended up with more of an angle on the tree looking up to it, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm gonna try that next. So let's get this shot. F8, 80th of a second, tripod, 2-second delay. Should be good enough. I didn't put mirror lock up for this, but I'll risk it. All right, let's try from back here. This is why we take the straps off. Good grief. That's better. Alright, so I'm going to try something a little bit different since we're a little bit farther back now, and I'm going to be using compression anyways. I'm going to lower my depth of field so that I kind of blur out the front and the back and just hopefully isolate that tree a little bit more. So f4, 250th of a second. We'll see what that looks like. I'm going to go a little bit wider because actually I want to give it room for a 4x5 crop. Since this is a vertical, I think that'll do a lot better. So I backed it out to 100 millimeters. Now we're just waiting for the light again. Well, I'm not too sure how well those images are going to turn out, but I think I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm hungry and I ran out of tea. But I think the main thing is that I just wanted to come out here and try something especially a little bit wider. I know I ended up using the 70-200, but shooting at 70-100 for me, based on how I normally shoot, I still consider that kind of a medium to wide shot, because I know I could have easily gone and grabbed my 1-400 or stuck this at 200 or grabbed the macro and done some really intimate, tight detail shots. There's lots of great textures and flowers and little lights and stuff, but I feel like I'm better at that than I am at coming out here and shooting a little bit wider, so that's what I wanted to try. So hopefully those images came out all right, but even if they didn't, coming out here and spending a day in the woods and filming and photographing, I can't ask for a better day. And you know, I spend a lot of time in the woods, and it's probably like one of my favorite places to be is actually out in the forest. And I don't really do too much photographing unless I'm doing wildlife. And I'd really kind of want to start trying to change that and push myself. And I've also been watching Simon Baxter a lot, so if you guys don't know who he is, he lives in England and he does just the most amazing woodland photography you've ever seen in your life. And it makes me just want to kind of push myself, and you know, these woods are local to me, they're right behind my house, and it's just something that I want to experiment more with. So the more you do it, the better you get. You know, the practice makes perfect. So come out here, and that's what I'm doing. All right, I'm rambling because Brittany took off and she's not here to stop me from rambling. So I'm gonna stop myself and go home and have some dinner. So here's the images that I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you like the wider shots better or the telephoto shots better. All right, seriously, it's dinner time. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.